welcome guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for not giving up on us. I know we've been out for like 3 weeks. But today we have a special guest. I'll let her introduce herself. So go ahead.
Okay, hi everyone. This is Himali. I'm not sure if a lot of you know me, but yeah, I do a little bit of content creation and dances and post a little bit on it, social media.
Yeah, so like we know Himali from high school, and like we reached out to her uh last 2 weeks ago, and she's doing a lot on like the Kenyan content creation page. Like, you'll see her on Radio 44 and all that kind of fun stuff. So Himali, thank you so much for doing this first of all, and we really appreciate your time today. And
Happy to be here.
yeah, we can get started,
Oh,
Eden. Yeah.
first of all, we seen that you graduated. We just want to say congratulations. Um, do you care to share us
Thank
like what you were doing like in university?
So I was doing business administration, so it was in University of Hertfordshire. It's in UK, but then I was doing an online degree, and I just graduated, got my degree, and I'm finally done with studies. That's all I'm happy about.
Himali, just as you mentioned that, like I saw your LinkedIn post on one of the days as a first generation graduate, how does it feel? Like, how does the family, think about that? Like, and how is it being like a first generation graduate? Yeah.
They were all very excited, and so was I. Like they're like, "Oh my God, we have a graduate in our family now," and they were so happy to tell everyone, my daughter graduated. Oh, my daughter graduated. So it was a little
Yeah.
exciting. It was a very nice moment, and they were very proud of it. So that made me happy as well. It makes you feel like you have achieved something really nice, and like
Hmm.
you've made them proud. All of that. It was very nice
Yeah.
to share all of that with all of them. And I had all of my family there with me, so that also made it very nice.
Yeah. Saw those pictures. Yeah.
But definitely we'll be posting like your I think you have a TikTok and an Instagram. We'll put those socials there so like our viewers can go check your pages out, just, some type of support. But getting back
Mm.
into it, could you share with us your TikTok journey? Because I know you probably started TikTok during COVID, or did you start it before COVID? Because I know TikTok has been out a long time ago. It's just people heard about it, like during COVID.
So I never really intended to start TikTok. So when I first made my account, it was just like scrolling and going through what everybody posts the typical way.
Mm.
And then I was fangirling during that time, so it was mostly like a fan account. So I would post edits and all. And then
Mm.
COVID hit, and then that was the time I think mostly these trends and all had started on your For You page. These other influencers had started. So I one random day decided, let me just dance. It started off very small, and then it just picked up because like I realized I really liked doing that, and then over time it just went on and on and on, and I just loved doing what I was doing. So I'm like, I guess this is it. This is what I like doing, dancing and like just doing my
Mm.
thing.
For all the viewers, she's pretty good at dancing. Like, if you guys go and see her TikTok and Instagram pages, I think you guys will notice why we're so like, talking about her TikTok journey. I think like you have what, 70 plus thousand on TikTok or something? Yeah.
It's about 74,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
74.
So like that's not a small
That's
achievement,
impressive.
like
Yeah.
that's very impressive. So like how did like all your friends and all that react to like, when you actually blew up on TikTok? Like
It
how
was
was that whole
it was
experience? Yeah.
actually crazy. Like I used to post normal videos which was all like fine. Like you'd get like a few. I was happy with even having 500 likes and maybe like
Mm,
1,000 or 2,000 views. I was happy with that. I never really expected too much. And
mhm,
then a random day I posted this one trend and it really blew up. So I had 10,000 likes and 15,000 likes, and then from there when I picked up each day, like I would at least have wake up to 200 followers. Like I've gotten 200 followers. Like if I used to have screenshots of all of this, of my journey that started off, like I started off with 1,000 followers and then 10,000, all the milestones I hit. So each day I would wake up, and that actually motivated me more to post. I'm like, that's nice. Like people like what I'm doing, and like, I'm expressive. That was, I think, my main part of my dancing. I was very expressive. So I would post, and then I would wake up in the morning and I would see all the comments, and oh, I have 200 and I wake up to 15,000. The next day I would actually wake up to 16,000. I've had those days where I would have 1,000 followers within, like, overnight. I would start getting,
Mm.
so I think it
Do
just
you
happened.
remember what trend got the video viral, or it's been such a long time?
No, there was this creator. She was a South Indian creator, and she had made like a very small Indian dance, and I did it, and I think that
Yeah.
really. I even have it pinned. It has about half a million or 600,000 views on that.
Wow.
About all these views that, we're hoping to get to that level. But right now it feels like, we're
That's
sitting next
crazy.
to like a famous person, like 74,000 followers. Like that's a
Mm.
lot. If you
Yeah.
put 74,000
Yeah.
people in a stadium, that's like a whole like football game, if you think about it. So that's pretty cool. Um, but coming to the content creation, how do you deal with like like the comments and stuff, like hate comments, inappropriate comments? Like how do you deal with that? Do you just like take it in one ear and take it out the other, or like
I actually used to, like, when I used to get a few, like earlier, during my earlier days, I never used to get, like, I'd never find too many hate comments. It wasn't really anything that I really bothered me and everything. Then I think a few trends I did, like, as I was picking up, I did get a few hate comments, but they didn't really bother me because sometimes I have too many comments and I don't really bother checking all of them. Because, like, the more you go through them, the more it affects you. So I never used to bother, but then there was a point where there was a certain video of mine. I still have it pinned, but I've switched off my comments because I did not like how people were
Mm.
commenting and everything. And it just puts you down, but it's not mainly on what they're hating on, it's them sexualizing you as a
mm,
woman. Like, that's the part I don't
right,
really like. But with time you realize it's just how the internet is. You have to deal with it, and the more attention you give to them, the more they will enjoy doing this. So I just stopped giving too much attention to that. I just let it be. And there were times when people would say something nasty or would say something hateful or would try to put me down, and then I've had some of my followers or some of my friends
so
who defend me. So it
Mm.
makes you feel like you're maybe doing something good out there. You've got also good people who are following you and, like, who support you, who don't think what you're doing is wrong, and maybe it's building. I've also had women texting me that like, you're so confident when you're dancing, and like, how do you embrace your body and like all of that, and I should just tell them that it just happens. I like showing what exactly I am. I don't like showing what I'm not. That's one thing about social media
cool.
as well.
Coming to that point
Yeah,
of sorry, Elian,
you're
I,
good,
I
you're
I
good.
just didn't want to cut you off there. Coming, Himali, coming to that point of, like a woman asking you where this confidence comes from. How did you build this confidence of getting on social media, like in your early days, especially? Because, like, it's not the traditional path, like someone, like, even from CGH or any school, like any girl, man, like any guy is not going to do this, like on social media. How did you build up that confidence? Like, hey, like, I'm going to go all in on this, and I'm going to be confident no matter uh how it pans out. Like, we are trying to do the same thing. So, like, where did this, and you were quite young as well, like you were not
Yeah.
that mature as well when you started off. So how did that confidence come? Yeah.
It's just random. When I did want to post, there's usually this culture going around during that time. Oh, if you post on TikTok, it's so cringe. Like, that's just
Exactly.
cringe
Yeah.
if you post
Yeah.
on TikTok. And I stopped listening to all of that because I saw how people were posting, and I, as a viewer, I was watching it for entertainment and I was getting entertained about it. I never really thought that this is so cringe or whatever the case it is. So I usually just I started posting a few, and there was a time where I stopped. I'm like, no, this is too much. I don't think this is my thing. But then with time, you
Mm.
start realizing people are going to talk. People are going to raise questions. I'm like, this is about me. I'm going to post what I like. This is my social media. And because I was confident, when I would step out of the house or someone would come up to me, they'd be like, "You're the girl who posts on TikTok, right?" I'm like, "Yes, that's me." And like, I don't hide from the fact that I post from TikTok. Like they would usually say,
Mm.
"I love your videos." I'm like, "Thank you so much," and I interact with them. And I think that's what they also liked about me. And them approaching me with like the positivity literally built my confidence even more as I started posting. I'm
Mm.
like, yeah, maybe.
How
How
did
do
it
you deal
feel
with
for
yeah?
people reaching out to you? Like, let's say
I was
walking
gonna
down
ask.
the street and someone comes up to you and tells you you're that girl who posts on TikTok. How did that make you feel?
The first few times it happened, I felt a little weird because you see, my intention was never, no matter what amount of following or all I had, I never used to say that. Oh, I would never say, oh, I'm famous. I would never portray myself as someone who's famous. I just never really liked saying all of that out. Then when it started happening, a few times I found it a little weird. I'm like, okay, this is a bit weird. This is a bit awkward. But then with time, I even when they come up to me, they were like, "Oh, you're so famous." I'm like, "I don't think I'm famous. I just like what I do." And you know what they liked is because these days, if you go around, I have interacted with a few influencers. You can tell that they have the pride with the amount of followers they have, and that really gets to you, like gets to me as well as a person who's trying to interact with them. I'm like, I don't exactly think that's a very good vibe of the person is giving off, and I've always tried to avoid that vibe because I
Mm.
don't want to, tell people like, oh, I'm so famous, so I don't want to talk to you, and no, I don't want to take a photo
Yeah.
with you. I'd gone. I don't know if you guys remember Aisha. She used to be in my class.
Okay, maybe I think so. Yeah.
Yes, so when she got married, during her wedding, one of the functions I'd gone, and they were like little girls. I think about 10 to 12-year old, and then they came up to me. They're like, "You're the girl on social media, right?" And they were so sweet and they were so scared because, they thought that I will not, interact with them and all of that. But then they came, they're like, "Can we please take a photo with you?" And then they took
Mm.
a selfie with me, and they were so happy. They were little girls and they were so happy. So I'm like, I like interacting with such girls. Like it's so nice when they're nice to you, they're saying hi to you. I've also had instances where girls would show me attitude because they would think that I have so many followers, so I apparently have a lot of attitude. Like it's because they've not approached me. When you approach me is when you realize I have nothing of that sort in my mind. It's like I guess that's how I just took it. I just started taking it like it made me very happy when people were happy to talk to me. That's it.
I
So
think
how
it
did
shows
you
the
find?
importance. Yeah.
Then go ahead, Saga.
No, I was just saying like it just shows the importance of staying grounded, no matter like how much followers or fame you get. I think that's what I like. Or from what you just said, I think that's a very good trait that you have. Yeah. Go ahead, Yash. Yeah.
Yeah, even as we pick up and get more followers, we're trying to stay grounded and humble so that
So
we don't
absolutely.
want people to just, judge us for the wrong reasons. But yeah,
Yeah.
the you mentioned that you started posting what you like. So I was just wondering, how did you figure out that this is what I like, or was it just trying different things and then figuring out what you like, or how did that work for you?
Okay, in the beginning, when these TikTok trends were going around, that the renegade and all of that, the typical dances. So like, I would usually do it behind the screens. Like it's me, my sister, my cousin as girls. We would just do it, but never post it. Like I would never really post it. And I thought, okay, maybe I can do this. I really like doing it. It's very nice to dance and and I think the best part for me was I used to enjoy smiling, and I think my parents also told me the same thing. My sister also, like, you're always smiling. Maybe, putting that and my dancing together is what really, really picked up for me. Everyone would be like, "You're so expressive, your smile is so nice, you're always dancing with a smile on your face." So I started off doing that, and in the middle, I did even try. Maybe I would try like maybe an outfit or a transition or one of the things, but I would never really enjoy that. I don't
Okay.
really, I don't know. Like I used to like it, but I never really thought that's my thing. So then I just
Mm.
stuck to dancing. I'm like, I think dancing is the only way. Then that's my only thing. So then I just went ahead with dancing, just one line.
You didn't really have to like fake who you were. You just said, I like dancing, so I'm gonna post dancing, and that's what took off. You didn't have to fake trying to do transitions, edits, and all these other things. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
Himali, another question for you, like when it comes to like editing, like did you learn how to do it on your own, or like how did you like all your videos, how do you edit them? How do you post them? How do you make sure like this is the best version of the dance or stuff like that? Yeah, how do you do that?
I actually don't edit my videos.
Oh, really?
Oh,
You don't?
really? Damn.
I don't like. I usually just put my camera down and then I
Yeah,
press play. I dance. I'll have maybe
What?
like
Seriously?
that's amazing, man.
takes and then
I'm
I'll just
surprised. Yeah.
Natural. I like that.
no, I
That's
don't
that's
do.
awesome. Yeah.
But I like that. I still
Wow. Wow.
because I thought like you need to like edit it like like a couple of times before you put it on. But that's crazy, yeah.
Not really. And
Actually.
there are some dances like you see. It depends on how. There are some people if you've seen some dances on TikTok. They're like professionally shot, and videos like that. Maybe those usually are edited, or they would add those effects in their dances. I've never
Mm.
really added any effects. I would just post what the camera shows. I'll just
I have a question, right? So you said you normally post your videos just natural, you put your camera up and you record. Have you ever thought, since like I think you're a really good dancer, I've kind of scrolled on your TikTok, before getting you on the podcast. Um, have you ever thought that you're gonna try and maybe get onto like uh what did you say? Not a photo shoot, but like someone who actually takes like a video and edits a video of you dancing. I think that would be pretty cool. You know how you said all these other influencers have like these transitions and stuff. I think it would be pretty
Mm.
cool to like, maybe have a video of you doing that, in out of your natural element. I think that would be pretty cool. Have you thought about that?
I have, and I was recently. I even practiced with a fellow influencer, and I'm supposed to do it, but then it gets very tough, like making time for that, and then when I have a full-time job, so it gets tough for me to make time for all of that as well. And we're still working on it. The minute we're both free at the same time, so we will. We
It
are.
works. That's
It's
awesome.
in the
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
process.
So the thing you just mentioned, a full-time work and social media at the same time. How do you manage both of them? Like how do you and you do like a lot of like this paid collaborations and all that kind of stuff. How do you manage all this stuff together?
So far, I've done maybe I think one to two
Yeah,
paid collabs because influencing also goes this way because not everybody is going to be willing to pay you money,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
mostly I'm gonna quote Indians. Indians are as a
I don't know
fellow
if we
Indian, I am saying personally, usually Indians are the ones who approach, but then they do not want to remove
Yeah.
money from their pocket. Or
yeah.
some of them are not exactly paid collabs. It would be like either PR packages or like small bits
Mm,
like that I would post on my social media. But with a full-time job, it does get tough. I think the past 1 to 2 years I did completely shut down of social media. I wasn't really much posting and everything because you lose track because during that time I had a full-time job. I was also handling uni, so
mm,
I never used to get much time to balance everything or like to make some time for myself and like start posting. So there are times like that. Even when you're posting on social media, you get a little tired and you're like, I don't think I just want to take a break of social media, and it takes a while to pick up from that break as well because you get too comfortable being away from
mm,
social. So I'm currently in the process of getting out of my break and bringing myself out on social media a little more right now.
yeah.
I appreciate the hustle, of working full time, doing uni, and trying to manage social media. I think it can be too much because even as students, we tried doing a lot, like working, then doing things outside of school, and then studying. And at a point, even I used to take breaks just to reset mind, figure things out. But yeah, I think it's great that you're managing to do all that. You talked about collaborating with other influencers in Kenya. So I this is what I think. I've not been in Kenya for so many years. So I know social media is like a new thing for our generation. the previous generation won't understand what it is, but it's a new thing for our generation. And how is the influencer community in Kenya? Is it growing or is it starting off? How do you guys meet often? How does the entire thing work?
Okay, I was first reached out by a influencer. She's a food blogger actually. She reached out to me. She saw my page, and that was actually a surprise. And that was my first time amongst all of these influencers. And that's when you find out who they are as a person. Some of them are little, like you can tell pride is there, and some of them are very humble and generous, and that is the good part about it. But then that also shows you, because I don't think anybody in Kenya really realizes that influencing actually pays you more than your 9 to 5 job.
Exactly. True.
Like, they're printing money, and this is when I realized, and when they found out that with the following I have, I'm absolutely not earning a damn, like I'm not earning any amount of money. They're like, no, we're going to help you, you have to try. And they were trying to tell me like how much they earn. You have to have a rate card as an influencer, and there's like a lot that goes into it. And sometimes it actually doesn't matter how many followers you have, it's just your effort that you put behind all of that. So some of these people I know easily can earn up to 150 to 200,000 per month, just making, let's say, 4 to 5 videos. Maybe per video. There's some influencers I know who charge 50 to 60,000 per video.
50.
There are people.
Who's paying this?
That's a lot.
Who's paying
There
this
are
money?
people who
50.
actually pay. There are people who actually willingly pay this amount, and that was the crazier part, because I didn't really realize that. I know the influencers abroad and all you see on TikTok, these people that have really gotten famous and they're so rich right now. I never thought the same thing was in Kenya until I actually interacted with these people, and they're like, oh, we can manage to earn this much. Or some of them were speaking about how they, and it's so easy for them to turn down some
Yeah,
deals.
that's crazy.
Like, it's crazy. They just turn it down, and I'm looking like, that
Right.
would be my dream collab. Why would you turn that down?
Yeah. Mm.
But then they're like, yo, that's not my niche. That's not what I want to do. And I'm like, that's crazy. But that shows that the opportunities they have, and how much they've built their image, that people are approaching them, and they're actually willing to pay for one video. They're actually willing to pay 50 to 60,000.
Yeah,
And
I'm really surprised. Like, I'm 50,000.
The
That's
Indians that
crazy.
are
Yeah.
paying.
yeah,
Uh,
it's, you won't mostly find Indians. It's mostly the Africans and the influential Kenyans. You'll find them paying that amount of money. Indians will always try to bargain. Like, whatever you ask for.
Yeah,
I mean, I mean, is that
yeah,
surprising?
in social media.
That's
Yeah,
fair. It's just in our nature.
yeah. You know, for the
No, I was just
sorry,
saying
Liam,
like
go
the
ahead.
bargaining is just in our culture, in our nature. That's what we like to do. So go ahead,
Exactly. Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, so Himali, like, you talked about collabing with other people and getting sponsors. So, will you collab with any brand, or will you only collab with brands that you have worked with, or the products that you use with? For example, like one example I can think of is makeup products. So, will you collab with a brand whose makeup products you use, or if you know the brand is not good, will you still go ahead and collab with them?
Okay, not really, because I have seen these influencers, market something, but they didn't personally like it. They're
Mm,
just marketing it because of the money they got out of it, the check, the
mm,
heavy check they got out of it. And that's not what I want to do. Like, I've had people approach me to maybe review their restaurant, or, you can come and have a menu tasting and everything. But that's not exactly what I want to do. Like, if you see my content, I don't like really putting food a lot out there, like menu
mm.
tasting, all of that. That's not really what I like. But makeup products, yes, I do have a few specific brands that I'm hoping one day in the future I do get to collab with them. L'Oreal
Fingers
being one of
Yeah.
crossed.
yes.
Yeah. Hopefully, let's tag L'Oreal on this video, and then maybe they see it. Yeah.
I do use a
That'll
lot
be.
of their products. I use their hair products. I use the shampoo, everything. I have a lot of L'Oreal products. I really, really like all of their work and everything. So maybe somewhere down the line, I do wish to collab with them. And I'm open to even collabing with products I've never tried. Like, I
Mhm.
personally haven't ever tried. Maybe I've just heard a few negative reviews, but I would personally want to try them on my own. And if I do ever, I don't think I can lie. Like, I can't
Yeah.
lie about the product just because you're giving me a hefty check. I can't come out and say that, this product is nice, because it actually creates a bad image of myself, because I would
Mm.
say it's nice, and maybe my friend is gonna try it and be like, "Oh, she lied. This is terrible." Like, it's the same for food. Some of these food vloggers I have seen, they'll be like, "Oh, the food is amazing," and na 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 na. I'm going to try, and the food is absolutely pathetic. I would never want to go to that restaurant again. So you see, it creates a really bad image when you're, out there marketing and, like, putting a product on your social media that you personally haven't liked it, but then you're just doing it because you're getting money out of
I
it.
think
That's part
I
of it.
think I think
I
that
think it's
says
great.
a lot
right.
about you as a person as well. Like, like just you thinking about it in that perspective, like even with the hefty check, you're not ready to do some of these things. It says a lot about your character as well. And I think uh, that is really commendable. Like, because a lot of people will just, get into like this deals like because of the money. But even
Yeah.
if it's, yeah, I know everything revolves around money in today's world. So like I think still having those grounding principles is very important.
So I actually seen obviously you're doing content creation and stuff. I seen some of your posts and I think you've started modeling, question mark? How
Yes, that
how
was
is
a
that?
crazy one. It just
Mm.
randomly happened. They just approached me like, we would love to. So I did contemplate a little. I'm like, I don't know if I should do it. That's not exactly my thing. But I'm like, also at the same time, there's no harm in doing something like that. I mean, I do want to like move, like I want to do both dancing and a little bit of fashion and all of that. So I'm like, maybe this is a good start for me. And it was my
Mm.
first time. It was a very tough one because I hadn't been that confident if I was able to like pull it off, and it wasn't a paid collab. So my first one I did that, and then they also called me again the second time. They wanted me to shoot for them. I'm not sure if I'll do a third one because it's a lot of work, and
Mm.
when it comes to modeling, you're shooting for 3 to 4 hours, and
Yeah.
you're in the sun. You have to keep changing your outfits. You sometimes have to get out of your comfort zone and do some of the things. And they did actually ask me, but they were not paying me, and secondly, if it's not what I'm comfortable wearing, I'm not going to do it regardless of you paying me money or not. But
Mm.
it still takes so much effort and time, and a lot of people don't realize this. It actually takes, because 3 to 4 hours I'm standing in the heat and in heels, and they tell me move here, move there,
Yeah.
or we take
Yeah.
this shot, we want you to dance, we want you to do this. So that was a little too much for me, but at the same time, it helps you build your confidence. Like, you're out there, you're trying to model, there's like a whole crowd. I remember doing one, just exactly where the Sarit food court area is, where the theater area and all of that, and it's usually packed. A lot of the times it's
Mm.
packed. So you're doing something while you've got like 50 to 60 people just staring at you. So I guess I
Mm.
took that positively. I'm like, okay, maybe I can do this. Like, modeling is not going to be so bad, because it actually helps you also build confidence. And after I started doing that, I did get a few people who wanted me to like model for them. Usually some
Mm.
people don't pay you, but then they like offer you their services. Like, maybe we'll do this
Mm.
and this for you, and like you can model for us. So I just took it as a good opportunity, like,
Right.
opening doors for
Yeah,
me.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think that's how you start off. Like, not
yes,
everything is
yes.
has to be about the money. Like, you build your page and
Peace.
then it gets
Yeah.
on from there. Yeah. And another, just from, as you mentioned, Himal, like 50 to 60 people staring at you. Like, I think that's where your confidence comes from. Like if you can do that in between 50 to 60 people, I think there's nothing that can stop you, like talking and, be putting yourself out there. So I think kudos to you, like I don't think so a lot of people can do all that. Like, to be very honest, like sometimes I wouldn't do it in front of people. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's crazy, yeah. With everything new that someone tries to do, especially in Kenya, when you're trying to do something different from everyone else, how did your family and friends take it at the beginning? Like, like you told your parents that, hey, this is what I want to do. How did they take it? Like, because traditional path versus this is two different things. Like, when we were kids, like, they tell us like go to university, get a good career, do this XYZ, and get married, get have kids, and do all that. Do the normal circle of life. How did they deal with it?
Okay, when I first started posting, I've always had both my parents on social media and they used to see
Hmm.
my videos. Or sometimes my mom would come, she's like, oh, this video is nice. And she would actually tell me what to improve. She'd be like, oh, you can do this different, this different. But back then, also, she had not much, like, they didn't really think much that social media can actually pay you or can actually do this for you. Then the more they also realized how social media worked, they would actually push me. Like, you've not been making a video, you should make a video on this. Or she would send me trends. She's like, you should do this
Mm,
trend. This is currently trending. And then
mm,
when I slowly actually started picking up on social media, I started posting on Instagram. She would tell me, if I'm posting a video or a PR, she would tell me next time when you're posting, just try say this, and then she always gives me her input. They've been very supportive towards it. They're always like, oh, no, you should try doing this, or you should try doing this, or you should maybe
mm.
do this step like this, or maybe you should say this more often. So they were very supportive from the beginning. So that's, I think, the
That's
good part
awesome.
about it.
Yeah, it just helps, right? Like if you have supportive parents, like
It
it just
does, it
helps you
does.
so much better. Yeah.
You
You can you can send them
Himali,
this
we
video. You can send them
go
this
ahead.
video once it goes live.
Absolutely, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, Yash, go ahead.
Yeah, as we were watching your TikToks before speaking to you, and we realized how good of a dancer you are. Because
Mm.
personally, I don't think I'm a great dancer, but it's something I'll try to work on. But I was just curious, what made you like interested in dancing as a kid? Did you just start doing it, or did you join classes and then you discovered that, oh yeah, I like dancing and this is something I can do as a hobby?
No, I think this is actually for both me and Kashish, my sister. As
Mm.
kids, we have always liked dancing. We have always been the two sisters where all of our relatives were like, "Oh, they like dancing. They'll start dancing. They would make us dance." We've always loved dancing. Like anytime, like songs would play on the TV, you just find us dancing. And my mom also kind of pushed us towards that. Yes, we didn't really join any classes or anything, but it was just a thing we would do on our own. And then when all of this social media came up and I would do very small dances, I realized maybe I can actually do something about it. I can actually get better with this. And now, if you've seen, my sister also posts a lot of dances, and I will say she's actually gotten even better than me because she loves dancing, and I have seen her dancing 4 to 5 hours just to get one
Wow,
step right.
that's
4 to 5 hours.
dedication right there.
Wow.
She tries to get-
And
yeah,
respect the hustle, man. 5 hours.
yes, and there's times I've had to also do that because you see, that's what a lot of people don't realize. I've had people come and tell me, "Oh, what you're doing is so easy."
Not.
I
It's
never
not.
really retort back with answers.
Easy?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. That's easy.
They need to try themselves first.
I don't usually bother when someone says that. I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. If you think it's easy, that's okay. But then, like, what they don't understand is behind making one video, I will have at least 10, 10 posts of the same dance in my draft to at least perfect it to the level I think it's okay enough for me to post. And sometimes that can actually take me 2 hours or 3 hours, or maybe I'll practice before dancing and then I will actually put it. And what makes it better is Kashish also likes dancing, so do I. So once I've done mine, I'll be like, what do you think of this one? Or she'll come and tell me, what do you think of this one? Or if she doesn't know how to do a step, she'll tell me, how do you do this step? And then we'll both do it together. Or if I don't know how
Mm.
to do it, she'll come and tell me, oh, like, how do we do this? And then we'll like work around it and like, do the steps together. So I guess I think we both just had it since we were kids. We just decided to put it out there.
It's
Yeah.
nice doing it with your family or your sister, because I think it's easier when two people are doing something. You can help each other, like
Mm.
you can help each other improve, get better dancing, and even yeah, just generally it helps to have someone teach you a new technique.
And motivation, right? And they push
Yeah,
push each other, yeah.
I'll tell you
So,
what, I'll say dancing is
yeah.
hard. I know I have some drafts in my TikTok. Definitely not post worthy. I'll tell you that.
And you used to dance. Actually, You guys dance like during those functions during
It's
Oh
not the
yeah,
same.
like that. Oh, we did that once. I still remember. I still remember that. Oh, no. I don't think so I'm ever doing that again. So
So like I really do like dancing, but then like sometimes, okay, question for you. Like whenever you see these influencers and stuff and you see them dancing and stuff, do you ever like compare yourself to them and say like, "Oh my God, like I don't think I can perform this dance just like them to make the dance look as good." So like has that
I
you
do a
said
lot
what?
of times. I do like a lot of times. Like I'll see someone doing, I'm like, shit, I don't think I can do that. They're so good, and that
mm,
sometimes does make me feel bad. I'm like, shit, I can't do that. Like I maybe should try. And some of my dances have happened because of that. I will see something, I'm like, I don't think I can do that, and then I'll randomly wake up. And I think mostly my dancing comes from listening to music. I'll be listening to music, and I want to just move. I just want to move. I just
mm,
can't keep my feet just there. I just want to move, and I'm like, today I want to dance. So the minute I get that I just want to move, I will start practicing because I've got that motivation, that drive, that no, I want to dance right now. So I will constantly see that person dance. I will play that video over 50 times until I get it. And then
mm,
sometimes I also have to say, like, it's not necessary for me to be as good as the person who's dancing. So what I do is I'll just appreciate. I'll be like, shit, she's such an amazing dancer. I wish I could do that. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of Shiksha Arora.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen some of her dances as well, and like she dances with such good confidence, and I'm like, I don't think I can do that. She's so good at that. But then, like, also at the same time, it just depends on how you take it. Either
mm.
you'll be like, no, I can do it, and then you will practice and manage to do it, or you'll be like, no, I can't do it, and then you'll just put
Yeah.
yourself down even
That's
more.
me
So
right
it
there.
just
I put myself down.
Yeah.
you have to. You just And if you keep posting, consistency is the key. I was not as good when I first started posting, but like when you keep posting more and more and you don't stop, that's what I think helped me. I never stopped. Even if
Yeah.
it's a very simple dance, I will post that. And then as it picks up, you'll be like, oh, this is a tough one, but do you think I can do that? I only do very simple TikTok trends. But then you have to try at some point. If I'm not going to try,
That's
I'm not going to know. And I think that's what
Mm.
made me want to, do
that's
more and
awesome.
more
I
of
love that.
this.
It's a numbers game, right? Anything in life is a numbers game. So, like, the more you do it, the more iterations, the better you get at it. Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
go
So,
ahead, buddy.
yeah.
I
No, go
I
go
just
ahead. Go ahead.
had a
You
final
wanna ask the
question for
last
you.
question? Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
so you said you currently have a full-time job and you're doing content creation on the side. Do you think now that you've graduated, do you think you're still gonna try and do the full-time job and content creation on the side because you can still make it work? Or do you think there's gonna be a time where you're just gonna be like, okay, I think I'm gonna be done with my full-time job and I'm gonna give content creation my full like time job basically, and work on that. Have you thought about that maybe?
And is
I
it even
have.
possible
Yeah.
in Kenya? Like, can you like quit your job and can you just do a content creation full time?
Yes, it's very
Yeah.
much
50,
possible.
60K.
It really depends on how long you've been in the industry. Because I
Hmm.
have actually seen people, I'm not even lying, these extremely famous influencers, despite I know some of them still have their full time job, but their full time job is also nice, and despite that, they've got brand trips. You'll find some of them flying to South Africa for a brand trip, and they're also getting paid for all of these. And the amount is not little. Like it's easy for people to earn up to 500,000 from influencing per month, and I can guarantee you there is no 9 to 5 that's going to really pay you that amount. You have to hustle so much to reach that level that, oh, I'm going to get this much salary. Like there's people who
Hmm.
have to 5 to 6 years of experience down the line, and that's when they're like, finally this company is willing to pay me 500,000
Okay.
monthly.
And even then, it's not possible. Like 500,000 after 5 years is still
No,
not possible. So
it's
yeah.
not quite possible, especially in Kenya, because it's very tough currently. Like, people are not willing to increase salaries or pay you extra.
Hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. For influencing, it works like that. But like I think I've just really started, so I'm not also going to give up on my job because I still have dreams. I've always wanted to do marketing, so I'm waiting to get an opportunity in like sales and
Mm.
marketing. And at the same time, I don't want to give that up and start just influencing being my full time. So I'm currently doing both, and if there is a time in life where I know influencing is actually paying me a lot of money while I could also sit at home and have my personal space, my time, I could put my creativity, then I would actually quit my job. And I have seen some influencers, even I would scroll on social media, and there's influencers who would quit their really good full-time job to be an
Mhm.
influencer full-time because it's giving them their space and their time. Like, who is going to pay you for going to a brand trip to Paris? I don't think this
No, I
that's
know.
not
Yeah,
what you have. Like, it gives you that really nice creative space and all of that. And I have also have a feeling a lot of people also like really misunderstand influencers. They're like, oh, what you're doing is absolutely nothing. You guys are just getting paid for doing nothing. It's not
mm,
really nothing. Because having that confidence and
Uh,
creating some of those content, some people even put vlogs out there. You have to sometimes wear outfits, or you're sometimes supposed to put on certain things that you would not really want to, but then to put your confidence out there, to give confidence to other women, you would put it on, and it's a lot of work. So I do also think that people really misunderstand this industry. They think that, oh, they have it easy, it's just laid out for them. That's
yeah.
not really how it is. So maybe somewhere down the line, hopefully.
that's awesome. I love that.
Him, yeah, you mentioned about this last question, promise. So, you mentioned about giving confidence to other women. So, what is one piece of advice you'd like to give men and women and us as well, like as we are continuing to do this podcast, what is one piece of advice from your journey and from all your learnings that you've got over the last 5 years or so you'd like to put out there? So like if there's a small girl or like a girl who's still in school watching your videos and is inspired by it, so like how, or a boy, for that instance, yeah, what would that be?
Okay, firstly, consistency is the key. It's sometimes social media you'll post and be like, oh, I only have 50 likes, and then you like, no, okay,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to post. I'm giving you guys as an example. Your podcast will be like, I don't have much views, but don't
Mm,
we can't let that bring you down because everybody started small. So you
yeah.
have to keep being consistent. It doesn't matter how many views you have because even if it's 50 views, 50 people are still a
Yeah.
lot of people. That's, I think,
Yeah.
the mindset
Yeah.
that helps you. So you have to keep being consistent about it. And as of men and women, for men, I would just say, till date, there are a lot of men who think that posting on social media is
So,
cringe, and they think it's in Kenya. A lot of men I've heard tell me, "Oh, that's so gay. I'm not gonna post that on
Hold
social
up.
media."
I think we need to
Uh,
blur that out. We
you're
need to blur that out. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
And I've had people tell me that, and I'm like, that's not exactly how this works. There are also people who put, like, there's also multiple ways you can put yourself out on social media. Like, it's so great you guys decided to start a podcast. I don't think anybody would just randomly wake up and, like, oh, I want to start a podcast. You guys actually managed to do it. And it's
Mm,
entertaining that people come on here, you guys ask them questions, they give their views, and it keeps people entertained. So, I mean,
mm.
it's better than sitting behind a screen and criticizing people than when people are actually doing something. So there's that.
I
And for
love what you
women,
just said. Like, I love what you just said. Sitting behind a screen and
yeah.
criticizing is so much easier. So,
exactly, than actually
mm,
doing this. Like,
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
have the confidence, but that doesn't give you the right
Well
to
said.
put the other person down because they have the confidence to do it.
yeah.
So that's what it is, and consistency, as I said. And for women, I personally always say this, even when I've got people asking me on my comments or something. I've also got men telling me, "Oh, you should try wearing this. You should try wearing makeup, and when you're dancing, you should try doing this." If you'll even notice, most of my dances, I'm always just me. I will not
Mm,
have like makeup or anything on. I'll still have my glasses on. I'll still wear the normal outfit. Sometimes I'm in my PJs.
mm,
I've never been the kind of person to change because then that doesn't show exactly the real you. Because if when someone sees me outside, I want them to know that, I don't want them to have to say, that's not what she looks like
That's
on social
amazing.
media. I want them
mm.
to know that
Yeah.
that is what she is. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's Mali, and that's very. easily
Yeah.
recognizable. So that's what I even urge women to do. Don't change yourself for social media. Just be who you are. And that's what actually a lot of people will like, that, oh, her content is very real, is very relatable. I like watching her. Like, I don't have to worry, like they don't have to compare themselves with me. Or like somebody will ask me, oh, your body looks nice, do you go to the gym? I'm like, no, I absolutely don't go to the gym. This is exactly who I am. It's just me. You just have to show what you are. I'm not going to put a filter on me, or I'm not going to, like, change how I look, or I'm not going to lie to you that, oh, I got this done, or like I did this. It's just
Really
who I
amazing. You
am.
know,
You
we
have to
we can
just
tell
show
how
who you are.
confident you are, and you're really being yourself, putting yourself out there, and not really caring about the haters. So I think that takes a lot of guts, because for the podcast we thought about it for 2 months and we did not start it because we were worried what other people will think. But then one day we were just like, let's start it and we will see how it goes. So we get that point of, worrying what other people think. And especially for you, like you're still growing, you have 70,000 followers and counting. So I think being yourself really helps. And it's good that, you're not faking it, you're just being yourself. And I think people like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I think when I saw Ilyan's story, when you guys had started this podcast, and I saw, it's a 254 and all of that, and I saw it, like, there's Yash and Sagar. I'm like, damn, it's been a while since I saw these guys all together.
Mm.
And there was one, I think you guys got Henna on the podcast as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So I was seeing all of that. Really great. Like, the first thing when I saw about it, I'm like, that's great. They're doing a podcast, and podcasts are really in these days. Everybody really likes listening to views. So it's nice when, all of you come together, you
Yeah,
share
thank
views, you
you.
invite people. It's
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Himbali, for your time today. Like, I think this has been great. Like, we've talked for 45 minutes, and it's feel like the time has just flown by in a
Thank you so
finish.
much. We appreciate the time that you've taken out on a Sunday, just for us to come together and record this.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
thank you for
Himali.
your time. We appreciate it.
No, I'm just actually honored. When you first even texted me, I was like, wow, that. It feels nice that you really wanted me on your podcast, and it's nice. I like enjoy like putting my views out. Like, why not if it's going to help? So it's nice. Thank you also for that.
Thank you for not charging us money. Because
I can afford that.
because because I was gonna
50,000? Like,
say
even we can't afford
we're going to be the
50,000.
ones to negotiate with you. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. But
Yeah. But guys, yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and please go follow
yeah, I'll
Himali
put her
on her
socials
socials
there.
and
Thank you.
Yeah,
support
on
support
her
her.
page. But thank
Yeah.
you.